What's wrong with me? Why do I feel like this?
Cheers, y'all. How's it going? Before we get into the topic of today's video, I just want to give a massive congratulations to all of you who took on and smashed the David Goggins challenge this past weekend. Last week, I put out a quick video just going over some tips for the challenge to hopefully help people who were thinking about taking it on, and was floored and so overwhelmed by the response I got from that video. Easily my best performing video I've ever put out. The amount of likes, new subscribers joining the channel, but even more importantly, or most importantly to me, just all of the comments I got on that video, people asking for specific tips, looking to update me on their progress through the race, letting me know the causes that they were running for. It was such a cool experience, especially since I wasn't able to run the challenge myself this year, getting to follow along everybody who was taking it on. So congratulations on smashing that accomplishment. I hope you enjoy the content that I'm putting out on the channel. Before we get into the specific topic of today's video, just a real quick training update. As you know, if you've been watching my previous videos, I've had some IT band issues, just some weird lingering stiffness, soreness in my leg. And after a conversation with my coach, decided to just take another full week off last week. Didn't want to irritate it anymore, especially with the big plans that I have for races coming up in 2021. Really just wanted to take a week off, totally week off from running specifically, and really just truly dedicated to rehabilitation of my knee and recovery of that IT band. I know I've mentioned in my last couple videos that I've been doing my IT band rehab routine and just working on active recovery, but when I say I dedicated a full week to specifically to recovery, I mean I did 2 to 3 workouts per day, solely focused on 15 to 20 minutes of dedicated work on recovering that IT band, whether that be strength exercises, flexibility training, etc. Just specific dedicated work trying to recover that IT band. I am happy to report that today was the first day I've run in over a week, and the first time I've run since probably the end of January with no pain whatsoever. My legs are definitely stiff just because I think the fluctuation in my mileage throughout February, but felt incredible on my run. I am so excited that I finally had a solid run, just 40 minutes at a recovery pace, nice and slow, a little over 4 miles, but felt good to finally get some healthy miles in again. I know I can't get too excited. This is definitely not the end of the recovery road. I still need to continue focusing on that dedicated rehabilitation work, but just so excited to get some healthy miles and some pain-free miles, and looking forward to hopefully starting to get back on track, especially with the races that are coming up in 2021. And that brings me to the big news of this video. As I mentioned, I think I might be going crazy. It has been over 12 months since I've run an in-person race. I am definitely going stir crazy. The cabin fever is starting to set in, and that probably largely influenced the decision that I made to sign up for my latest race. But before we talk about the specific race I signed up for, gotta do a quick wardrobe change because I can't announce any new ultramarathon plans without my official ultramarathon hat that I got from the Bandera 100K last year. But I know I mentioned in my video laying out my goals for 2021, I had my eyes set on a pretty lofty ultramarathon goal, and it is official. I am now registered for the Mohican 100-mile race in Ohio at the end of June. Quick recap of what my race calendar looks like so far for the spring. The next race I have coming up, I have the virtual Hot Chocolate Philly race. That's gonna be at the start of April, so just a couple weeks till that run. Then at the end of April, not a race, but I'm taking on the 4-state challenge. That's running, it's a little over 43 miles total on the Appalachian Trail. We'll be running from north to south, I believe, so we'll be running from Pennsylvania through Maryland into West Virginia and then finishing in Virginia. Really excited for that challenge. I'll be taking that on with my coach at the end of April, and now the Mohican 100-miler officially set for June 19th into 20th. I am terrified for sure to take on a 100-miler. Obviously, the longest I've run before is just Bandera 100K, so a little over half of a 100-mile race. A goal is just gonna be to finish this race, but I think as B goal, we might try to see if we can sneak in under 24 hours. Again, just not sure at all how my body's gonna respond to the stress of a 100-mile race. A lot of questions yet to be answered, but just excited to officially be registered. And registering wasn't necessarily as smooth as I thought. It wasn't as simple as just going on the website and registering. I actually scheduled a time with my buddy Todd, who I've run run most of my long distance races with. He and I talked about running the race together. We logged on, scheduled a Zoom call, got all set up to talk about logistics of the race, getting everything sorted out. And when it came time to actually register, literally as we're getting ready to finish the registration and click that final submit button, scrolling through, just checking everything I typed in, and my entire town lost power. That is not a great sign. Definitely a little nerve-wracking that at that moment was that some kind of sign saying, hey, maybe this is a bad idea, but chose to ignore that. Pulled out my phone real quick and got registered anyway, so officially registered for that race, but definitely a little nervous given that that omen, some might say. Now that we're registered, it's time for the real work to begin, so a lot of planning that needs to go into this race. I think the 4-state challenge is going to be a great trial run, especially because that run is going to be totally self-supported, the 4-state challenge, so it'll be a good test of carrying some extra weight, test out different foods that I want to try, hydration strategies, etc. Other things we need to consider though, are we going to need a pacer? I think I would prefer to have one. The course is 4 loops, 2 long loops, and then the last 2 loops are a little bit shorter. So I'm thinking for the last like 23-mile loop, hopefully have a pacer with us just to help us navigate the trail, especially since we'll likely be running that portion of the race overnight into the morning. I have considered a 100-miler for quite some time, something that I always just have admired people who have taken it on, but just wasn't sure if that was something that was even in my wheelhouse. Definitely gained some confidence after Bandera with how that race went. I think training updates for this will kind of roll into training updates for the 4-state challenge as well, since like I said, the 4-state challenge will be a great kind of trial run of some of the things I'm planning for the Mohican 100-miler. But it is official, iRunOnBeer. I am running my first 100-mile race and I could not be more excited. We've got our campsite reserved, we got a trailer rented to sleep in the night before and the night after the race. It should be a lot of fun. It is a doozy of an in-person race, that is for damn sure, but I am just so excited for the challenge and just looking forward to the next few months watching all of this come together. I will definitely be asking a lot of questions along the way, definitely have a lot to learn before June, so excited to make that official announcement, excited to hopefully be getting back to healthy training once again, and looking forward to start logging some miles, slowly increasing that volume, and just getting back on track with my training for 2021. So I hope you're as excited as I am to see where this journey takes me. Please go ahead and click that thumbs up button to let me know you're supporting me along this crazy journey. If you don't already, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel so you can follow along as I prepare for this 100-mile race. But that's it for me. Looking forward to hopefully a solid week of training, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.